live show. We're getting Facebook and Twitter and everything hooked up.
All right, we're live.
All right.
We're ready to start.
Very good. So thank you everybody who's tuning in right now to the Blue Zeus live art show and fundraiser. And I really appreciate you coming and listening in. And thank you so much to everybody who has already purchased artwork that will benefit Skydog Sanctuary. I really appreciate it. And thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself. So my name's Carol Walker, and I'm a wild horse photographer and author, artist, and advocate for the wild horses.
And superwoman, I would say. Superwoman. That's for sure.
And owner of 3 adopted Mustangs. And I have been following wild horses since 2004 and fell in love with them. And saw that it was so sad, the situation that's happening with them being removed from our public lands where they belong, and realized that I needed to help save them. So I've been working as an advocate since 2005, and I have been viewing roundups, and I have been spending a lot of time out in the field with the horses, getting to know them. And that's kind of how this whole show came about. So the Red Desert Complex is an area in Wyoming near Rawlins, Lander. And I started going there 5 years ago. And in 2018, I met this extraordinary blue Roan stallion named Blue Zeus. I've photographed horses all over the world, and sometimes there's a horse that just has a presence and a bearing, and just their spirit is extraordinary. And he is 1 in a million. And I saw him early in the morning, and it was beautiful light. And he was there with his family, his 3 mares and his youngsters. And I just fell in love. And I spent the next few years, every time I would go to the Red Desert, I would look for him. And it was always felt like the 4th of July when I would find him. I would be so excited. And I would spend time with them, with the family. And sometimes I would just sit down and watch them as they were all taking a mid-morning nap. And wild horse families, especially with youngsters in them, will do that. They'll take a mid-morning nap, and the whole family will get together and nap together. And it's wonderful that they trust me enough to let me in, because wild horses, they're much faster than I am, and they could move out of the way if I was annoying them or they didn't want me near. But they would let me sit there and spend time with them. And so last year, when we had the announcement about the roundup and that the area that he and his family were living in they were going to remove all the horses, I contacted Claire Staples at Skydog Sanctuary and told her, and she said she loved Blue Zeus for years. And I said, is there any way you could take him and his family? And she said, well, yes. So we have spent the last 11 months trying to prod the BLM into allowing us into the facility, allowing us to identify the horses, and allowing Claire to take them. And just a couple weeks ago, finally, his last mares arrived, and he was reunited with them at Skydog Sanctuary. And it was an amazing moment. Do look up the video if you can. And so I spent almost a week at Skydog Sanctuary, and I admire tremendously the work that Claire's doing there, saving horses that otherwise are in terrible situations. And so I wanted to do something to help the sanctuary, and also, let people know what Blue Zeus looks like and get to know him. And of course, he's not here tonight, but I thought I would share some stories about him. So these pieces are all in the sale. and there is a link in my profile on Instagram, and then on Facebook and all the other places, there's a link right there, right, Juan?
Yeah, so if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, you'll
Right?
find the link to the shop right in the description of the video. Yep.
And Juan and April from Art Storefronts are here helping me tonight put on the show, and I
Hello,
very
hello.
much appreciate them. And so let's get started, and I'll start talking about some of the pieces.
Carol, I
Yes.
think we got first of all, we have over 100 viewers, which is great. That's
Hi.
good news to know. Yeah. And then I think we've got a very interesting question from Cheryl. Okay, she's
Yes.
saying, please tell us the best ways to advocate for the cause, what really can get the word out the most, right? And then she's also saying we're all so grateful for you and Claire. So I
Oh,
think
that's
that's a very
awesome.
interesting question. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Right now, the best thing to do is to be writing President Biden, Secretary Deb Haaland, and your senators and representatives asking for a moratorium on roundups. That's the most important thing right now. So,
Awesome. We also have Tracy saying hello. This is wonderful. Lou saying, hey, Carl, this is wonderful. Joed, I think you have many good friends and people who knows you showing up, just so you know.
I so appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Um, so I thought I would start with this piece because it's one of my favorites, and Blue Zeus was very tolerant of me taking pictures. Sometimes I thought he was probably thinking, oh gosh, it's the woman with the camera again. But he would just stand there and look at me, and it's wonderful to get a chance to see his beautiful eyes in this piece. And this one is Blue Zeus close up, number one. And this is another of my favorites. I call it Wild Glory, and just the wildness. He's turning his head. You can see his Roan coat. He has little bite marks. That's what those are, and old ones. And he just seems to be very, very the epitome of wild. So this one's on canvas, and this one's on metal. And metal, I think, really shows up the colors really beautifully. So I enjoy that. This piece is Wild Blue Roan Stallion, and this is a matte, which is pretty interesting. So
Which
this
number
is
is
a
that
matte
one
deck.
on the website, Carol? Sorry, what's the number of that piece?
It is number 12.
Number 12. All right, Wild Blue Roan. Okay, we got it.
So the matte metal, you can see the metal through it, which is pretty interesting. And the metal pieces are very cool because you have a frame on back and you can hang it. So everything in this show, because I like pieces that way, is ready to hang. And I find that the canvas and the metal, it's more cost effective because you don't have to get a frame, and also because you can hang it right out of the box. So, and then this is a canvas. This is Blue Zeus Walks. It's number 3. And this one is on canvas. So it's just kind of a matter of what you like best. So there are going to be some other horses in this show. So this is also from the Red Desert Complex. This is part of the big band. And this gorgeous mare here, I call her Mascara, and these 2 stallions. There were 3 stallions in this family, which is amazing. And the birds took off as they were walking. So I always enjoy, let's see, this one is
Number 17,
17.
right? Yep.
Juan, you're better than I am at figuring this stuff out. So I enjoyed always spending time with this family. There were 16 members of this family, 3 stallions. I guess you need 3 stallions if you're going to keep them all in line. And 2 were brothers. And they are in Canyon City.
All right,
Carol,
we got a couple of comments on Instagram. Patty just bought 4 pieces, and Carol is asking where she can buy them.
Where should they I'm sorry?
Where she can buy them? A couple of comments on the Instagram there.
Where can she buy the piece? Look at my link in my profile and you'll find the link. Just click on it.
There you go. That's quick and easy.
That was an easy one.
Thank you, April.
So this mare is now at Skydock Sanctuary, and her name is Strongheart. And this mare is very dear to my heart. She is an older mare, and my friend Angelique has told me that she's been watching her for a long time, and she takes in orphan foals and nurses them alongside with hers. So she's like kind of the matriarch of the Red Desert. And I was so delighted when Claire decided to take her. And she was very thin when she came from Canyon City, but she's looking really good. When I saw her 2 weeks ago, she's put on weight, and she's definitely a happy horse. And we found out that Hera, who is Apollo's mare, was actually in a family with her years and years ago. And so the two mares are together, and Hera's very protective of Strongheart. So this is called Fearless, this one.
Yeah, that's number 4 on the website. I can see we have many people asking how to purchase the artwork. So guys, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, the link will be in the description of the post right next to the video or right above the video. And then for the folks watching on Instagram, all you need to do is tap with your finger on the name of Carol, and that will take you to her profile, and you will see a link in the description in the biography of Carol. That's the quick link to get into the shop.
Right.
Many people saying hello as well.
And I forgot to say, so 50% of the proceeds from the show tonight are going to go to Skydock Sanctuary. So you can get your art fix, and you can also be doing a very good deed and helping wild horses and domestic horses at Skydock Sanctuary.
Yep. Patty from Instagram bought 4 pieces.
Wow. Yes, she did. So this has been the bestseller of the show so far.
Which
number is it? This is number 27, Blue Zeus, Nike, and Juno. And so this is Juno when she was just a small foal, and Blue Zeus and Nike, so this is part of his family. Nike is one of his 3 mares, and this was in the Red Desert. And it is a 12 by 18 gallery wrap canvas, and I have this on there in 3 different sizes. So this is the 12 by 18 size. So I was mentioning nap time. So there was one morning in August, and I was there with 2 friends, and we saw Blue Zeus and his family crossing the road. And they went and they stopped, and they started to settle down for a nap. And Blue Zeus kind of wanted to be off by himself, and the mares were together, and he seemed like he was a little grumpy. And so he went by himself, and then pretty soon, all the mares started walking over, putting their heads on him, leaning on him, walking over. The youngsters walked up to him, and he's like, "Oh, come on, I just want to sleep." But he is a very, very good soul, and he loves his family. And so finally he was like, "Okay, fine. We'll just all be together in like a puppy pile." So the youngsters were there, the mares were there, and they were all kind of dozing. And it was just wonderful spending time with them and seeing that little bit of personality in Blue Zeus. So this is Iris, his gray mare, and this is Blue Zeus and Iris. Don't know which one number this is, sorry.
I was trying to figure it out, but I don't see it in the landing page, Carol, just so you know. It can be outside, but we can add it. We can add it later on. Okay. So we have it. Don't worry.
I might have missed it, but we'll add it.
Exactly. No problem with that.
All right, off to another.
I think a good thing to remind you, Carol, it will be great for your audience
Yes,
to say out loud the number of the piece, so
yes,
they actually know what to look for when they're searching on the website.
yes.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
Carol.
great. So this is number 8, and this is Hermes, who is one of Apollo's sons, and he is cuddling with his youngsters at sunrise, and I call it Sunrise Cuddle II. And Hermes is a son of Apollo, and I would always see Hermes' family near Apollo's out in the Red Desert. And Claire also adopted Hermes. So Hermes and Aslan and Apollo are all together at Skydog Sanctuary, which is really wonderful. The Red Desert Complex, as you can see, has a lot of Palomino pintos, which are a great color. And speaking of Apollo, this one is Apollo Looks, which is 13, and it is a metal print, a glossy metal print, and again, you can hang it like this. So
I have an interesting comment here.
yes,
It's coming from Don. He's saying, "Love hearing the stories behind the stunning images," and I do agree with you, Don. It's so different, right? It's not anymore a 2D image. There's a story behind, and you can feel you're in there, and it's just amazing. Thank you so much, Carol, for sharing these amazing stories. Okay, you're a lucky one. You're so close to these amazing stories. I'm so glad.
Yep. We
thank you.
also have lovely comments on IG, on Instagram.
Great. This is a sad one. This is the last time I saw Blue Zeus before the roundup, and he was looking out across at his family. It was a windy day, really windy in October, and the BLM had already started rounding up the herd. And he was in an area, and I knew it was going to be in the next day or two that they were probably going to capture him. And his family was off grazing, and he was by himself. And I went up to him, and I saw him looking out over the desert, and I promised him, that I would do all I could to make sure if he got rounded up, that he would have a safe place with his family. So, yeah, yeah. Some of the images, have a meaning to me but I think it's pretty eloquent seeing him look out, and one of the last times he got to see his home. So, last fall also, I took this image in September, and he and his family were walking to this waterhole. This one is Blue Zeus Walks 3, which is 14. And his whole family was walking toward the waterhole. And it was very early in the morning, and you get this beautiful light. And he was bringing up the rear very protectively, like stallions do. And let's go to a small one here. This one is number 26, Blue Zeus Legend. And I liked the colors. Sometimes I like an image in black and white because it can be very dramatic. But sometimes being able to see the blues and the tans of the prairie and everything can be really cool. And this is a gallery wrapped canvas. So
Ready to hang.
ready to hang.
All right. Carol Conner said, so happy has his family back on IG.
I'm sorry?
She's so happy BZ has his family back. So
Yes,
they really love the story.
that's great. Yes, me too. I'm very happy as well. This one's a little harder to get. This one is Blue Zeus, Heart of the Prairie. And you can see all the colors of the sky, and then the grasses, and then his beautiful blue coat, which is just amazing. So, and this one is 12 by 18. And then I know Instagram is not able to see that corner as well.
We just got the Sky Dog Sanctuary on Instagram saying verified. I just bought the metal one.
Oh, awesome.
Woohoo!
Yay! Thank you, Claire. That's great. This is number 24. So, on the lighter side, this is also from the Red Desert Complex, the same area. This is Looking Glass, and he is still free. So he was not impressed with the helicopters, and he ended up not getting captured, so he's still out there. So it's nice to know that some of the horses are still in the Red Desert Complex. Let's see. And now for something completely different. I think, Juan, you told me the number of this one. This is the Black Curly Stallion.
Yep, give me 1 second and I'll let you know. I think that's number 60. Yeah, number 60.
Number 60. So this is a curly from Saltwells Creek, and they just started the roundup that's going to be removing 5 horses from 5 herds in Wyoming, including Saltwells Creek. And the curlies are extraordinary. This is Bubba, and he is a black curly stallion, and he is a wonderful stallion. He has just 1 mare and a foal, and his curls are just amazing, and he's a big guy. And I have very much enjoyed spending time with the curlies. They're very gentle, and they're hypoallergenic, which is really an interesting fact. And I just think that he looks stunning in black and white. So he's on there as well, even though he's not with Blue Zeus. And let's see. Oh, this one is a sepia print, and that is Wild Red Desert Stallion. That is number 16.
16, yeah.
And it's the only sepia print. And notice his curls of his wind knots. I just love it. Blue Zeus always seems to have kind of a different mood of wind knots. Every time I see him, sometimes he'll have something big, sometimes it'll be draping down. But I just love the wild hair, the wild long hair of the stallions, and his is better than just about anybody's. When I was at Skydog, and Blue Zeus was released into the pasture with the mares, he went straight toward them. And it was just so amazing seeing him greet all of them. And people who say that horses don't know each other and don't remember each other, it's completely untrue. These horses are family. They've been together for 5, 6, 7 years. They know each other, and you could see after they ran around the pasture a bit and then finally settled that there was this feeling of peace that I saw in his eyes that I haven't seen since he had been rounded up. So it's a beautiful thing being able to reunite a wild horse family. There are not enough sanctuaries to take all of the wild horses that are being rounded up. There just aren't. And it needs to stop. The roundups need to stop. Wild horses need to be preserved and managed in their homes on our public lands. And we need to support the sanctuaries that do take horses in. But we also need to stop bringing them in. We need to stop treating them like livestock, treating them like commodities, treating them like nuisances. And, for me, wild horses on our public lands, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our country, and they need to be preserved. I don't want to have the last pictures of wild horses that are still wild and free. I want people to be able to go out and see them. So I'm going to encourage all of you, when you have a chance, to get out and see wild horses on our public lands. It's truly an amazing thing. You have the stallion, who's like the protector. You have the mares. Sometimes they're sisters, aunts. They've been together forever. And then you have the youngsters. And a family is very distinct from just a bunch of horses in a pasture together. They have bonds. They have relationships, and they know each other, and they deserve to stay together.
Love that, Carol. We have a couple of interesting questions. The first one is coming from Bella on YouTube. She's asking, where does Carol photograph most of her work? I think that's an interesting question.
Okay, the wild horses that I photograph are mostly in Wyoming. So the Red Desert of Wyoming, McCullough Peaks, the Red Desert Complex, Saltwells Creek, Adobe Town. Those are the herds that I photograph most, and San Wash Basin in Colorado.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Another question from TJ McDonald. He's asking, are you able to purchase the same print of one that it's already marked as sold?
You definitely can on my website, but it may be sold out in the show.
Okay, that's good to know. Then Melissa is asking if number 61, it's Blue Zeus. Piece number 61, it's called Freedom Comes Close.
No, that is actually another Roan stallion. His name's Freedom, and he's at Return to Freedom.
Awesome. Linda, it's asking, where do I see the list? Just visit the link in the description of the video, Linda, and you will see all the available work.
Right. Except for Blue Zeus and Iris, which I'm going to add right after the show.
There we go. We're going to add that one too. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Oh, I had another, not from this area. This is Galaxy from the Prairie Mountains of Montana. And this is Galaxy at Sunrise. And this is 23. And it's a glossy metal print. And Galaxy is one of the man stallions in the Prairie Mountains of Montana, which is a extraordinarily beautiful place to visit. Also a herd that I recommend that people go to. Oh, and I didn't mention
We
this
just
one.
sold number 5, number 2, and number 53 are gone, just so you know, Carol.
Okay, great. And that's wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Number 25, the Wild Family. This is a beautiful family in Palomino Buttes. They just rounded this herd up. But this is a gorgeous mare, yearling, Carmelo yearling, and new foal. And I very much enjoyed seeing that family. They're in Oregon. They're not that far from Skydog, actually. Let's see, what else? I think that was all I was going to talk about tonight as far as the pieces. So any other questions would be great.
Linda is saying, thank you for capturing their spirit in your wonderful photography.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great.
Let me check if we have any other questions that I missed. Let's see. Let me scroll through them. So many hellos, so many people sending love.
Everybody, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for purchasing artwork, and thank you for supporting Skydog Sanctuary. Their work is so important.
We have a question here from Lou Johnson asking, what are the numbers for the first 2 pieces that you talked about? So the first 2 up top. Yeah.
That was number 1.
Okay, that's number 1.
And almost everything in the show I have at least 2 of. So, and then the other one
is the one right next to it. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's Wild Warrior. That's number 15.
Number 1 and number 15, Lou.
And if
Very
you do go to the link to shop, you'll see the image of it, so you don't have to remember the name. So that's good.
cool. A lot of people sending love. Love your work and interesting presentation. Let's see on Instagram.
Yep.
Someone
Mhm.
said, I absolutely adored Boba. Booba. Uh, yep. Uh, Someone saying, raise your voice for our wild horse families. Skylark
That's
Sanctuary saying,
awesome.
amen to that. Stop the roundups.
Oh,
Love
and
that.
I didn't know, I wanted to also mention that I've recently adopted another Mustang. I have two Mustangs here at my house, and I recently adopted the son of Apollo and Hera, and his name's Helios, and he's a yearling. And he is at my friend Beth Beamer's in Berthoud getting gentled right now. So I have a new Mustang family member, which I'm very excited about. And probably in December, I'll be bringing him here to live with me and the other two Mustangs. So I'm very excited about that.
More people asking where to shop it. I'm gonna go ahead and post the link on your social media as well. I'm posting the link for everyone watching on Facebook,
Perfect.
YouTube, and
And
Twitter.
I did do a post on everywhere except Twitter 15 minutes before with the link. So it should be in that post as well.
You're gonna find it, and I think Carol maybe will extend the sale for quite a bit.
Yes.
Carol, what are your thoughts with that?
Yes, I'm going to extend the sale until Sunday night. So if you happen to not, hi Charlotte, if you happen to not catch the sale live, or if you have friends who wanted to watch tonight and didn't make it, they can see it on YouTube, and they can continue to purchase until Sunday night.
All right. On Instagram, Hula Girl EXO asked, "Is there only one of each print?"
No, there should be on there. There should be at least two in there.
All right.
And if you have any questions after the show, please message me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Yep, just so you know, guys, Carol is always available on her social media. You can DM her on Instagram, Facebook. You can subscribe to the
Yeah,
newsletter. You'll get information in there. I think that's the best way to get all
right.
your answers. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And next week, I'm going to be heading out to Wyoming to the largest roundup in history. And so, if you would like to follow what's going on, I'll be posting on Facebook and Instagram updates as to what's going on. So, if you want to follow that, that'll be happening starting next week.
Awesome.
And
And
Awesome.
I
Patty is
really,
happy about the sale extended.
yeah, until Sunday. Yep. Oh, great! You've got that on the banner. That's wonderful.
Yep, we got it there.
And I really appreciate everybody coming on and watching, and everybody purchasing the artwork, and everybody supporting Skydog. I really do appreciate it. It's a joy for me to spend time talking about wild horses and talking about Blue Zeus, who's one of my very favorite horses that I've ever known. So it's wonderful getting to share that with you.
And we just sold number 10.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Ashley, the 50% that goes to rescue stops Sunday night as well. It will be part of this live show, okay? So Sunday night will be the end date. Yep.
And also, oh, I forgot to mention that these pieces are all going to be shipping within the US. And if you're overseas and you're interested in a piece, just message me, okay? But we're not set up to sell overseas right now from the show.
Yo-Yo Ma 33 is asking, "Will you release any prints?"
There are prints available on my website, but I did not put any prints into the sale because I wanted the pieces to be ready to hang, ready to go. So that's what we have in the sale. But on my website, livingimagescarolwalker.com, there are prints of all these.
Awesome. Awesome. I think we're good to go. I don't know
Yeah.
if you have any finals, Carol.
No, just thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. And I thank you to everybody who is doing their best and working hard to help save our wild horses. All your letters and calls do make a difference.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks a lot for sharing these amazing stories, Carol.
Thank
Lovely
you.
show and lovely cause as well.
Thanks.
We also have comment from Kathy Carr. So the prints do not benefit Skydog?
No, they're not in. They're not in the art sale show. No.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. We're good to go. Thanks a lot once again, Carol.
Thank you.
Amazing show. It was amazing. I'm going to stop the live show right now.
Okay, me
Have
too.
a wonderful night, everyone. Bye bye.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.